uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Saying that you're the best, you gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back. Sports.
Yo, big shout out to the hottest chat in the MFN game. A-Side official. No negotiation needed, period. Yeah, we back with another one. As you already understand, there's some traction, however you want to move it. Progress that's happening out here in these boxing streets. And we're going to talk about it. Good traction, bad traction. I mean, we have a process right now where the opening semester of 2025 hasn't been really any heavy fight cards, but the boxing fans never sleep until we are buckled up and parked in place to watch, the next up and coming card. It's going to be a lot of social media activity that's going on. And that has been between one of the greatest of this era, right? Terrence Bud Crawford against another one of the great of this eras. May not so much on a level of greatness when it comes to Crawford, but depending on how he closed out his career, yes, he can be considered or in that similar conversation. Shout out to Big Blunts and Boxing on deck in the building. I see you, Blunts. What's good, man? Shout out to my guy, Mr. Gumbo, aka Hot Grease, in the building. Salute, fellas. Everyone else is on their way in. We're going to get down to it. I just wanted to show an old clipping. That's all. I wanted to show an old clipping to kick this off. And it's my duty to remind people of, how boxing media was always at each other's throats back then. And still to this day, they doing the same exact thing. Like, I put up this old thing, this old thumbnail of lightning, in the sky and everything every time Crawford is in the proximity. At this point in time, he was 39-0, 30 knockouts, bro. And I remember the conversation. The banter was like, he ain't fought nobody. He ain't this. Spence is just too big of a fighter. Too much muscle. He's the boogeyman. And, once the fight was finally made, it just got out of hand, yo. It got out of hand. So let's talk about what has transpired since then. Let's talk about the media verbal sparring that's been going on between Terrence Crawford and Gervonta Tank Davis. I'm just going to read some replies from Terrence Bud Crawford, aka the pound for pound, aka Omaha Monster. Terrence Crawford, this is his thread. All right, that keep fighting one time a year. Bud, what an error. See, Bud always have the fans out there that rock with him heavy, and those who sit deep in the shadows, out of sight, out of mind, because they don't want that smoke. You know what I'm saying? Crawford said, I've been doubting my whole career, and some still doubting me now. That's this year, January. Remember what you said about me. That's him and the man Big Turk, Ala Sheik on deck. He said, I'm going to shock the world. The best is yet to come. I had it in my back pocket this whole time. Crawford seems confident, don't he? I mean, real talk. He seems extremely confident. It's not really a time where I just read something he put out there and internally I think that he's just talking just to be talking. No, he put some shit out here and you got to say to yourself, hey, you know, he mean what he's talking about. He said Golden Boy doesn't own the ring. I see somebody mad they wasn't invited to the Ring Magazine Gala. Now, this is where it gets very, very interesting because, you know, it come down to a point where we have watched the news several times over and none of us quite understand what actually ignites a volcano from erupting. We never really been there on site to say, you know what, that did it right there. I saw the first bubble. I started smelling the motherfucking gas. I was nauseated, and I saw the first motherfucking bubble pop out that shit, bro. No one understands how a volcano is antagonized, what provoked it, how did it all come to this point of boiling over out here on social media. You know what I'm saying? Crawford says, stay off the drugs, lady. He was replying. But you're not a victim. You chose the company you wanted to go with. Stop it. When you signed with PBC, you got the fight. You're still full of it. Errol Spence would have gotten the same fight had he not had the accidents, and he would have crushed you. There's still people out here that's absolutely showing that they're addicts amongst us. They're still consuming any type of recreational drug that they have access that fits their budget. Obviously, Mia, I'm not saying she's one of them, but I would like to try to find out somehow, some way, what is her environment? Who is she hanging around with? What is she sniffing on? Is it paint cans? You know, I mean, what is she sniffing on? How can you be in 2025 talking about what Spence would have gotten? Man, the audacity of these people, man. Terrence say, I remember being left out. That's why when they let me in, I crashed the party. This tweet right here. That was January 13th, 2025. By the way, little guy, don't speak to my son because you definitely not making more than me. Who you been fighting? That's why you talking about fighting Ryan again. Effing list, there's nothing to say. Not a single post about Green Bay this season. I'm just reading what's on his timeline because it gives you a touch of what he's talking about and what these other people is just hanging out. You know what I'm saying? The mongerers. Definitely lasts when you use it right. First thing a dumb rich person say to another rich person is, I got more money than you. I bet you I own more investments than you and I don't owe $1 in taxes. You can't buy nothing. I can't buy. That I won't, sir. And that's a fact. Let's see who money lasts the longest, smart guy. The fact that him and Tank is going back and forth, you know what I'm saying, about who's what, when, what Tank has to say, that is Tank right there. You know what I'm saying? They're going back and forth and money came up as an issue, but also the disrespect was deep. I'm talking about the tip of the spears was dripping poison. They was there for bad intentions, y'all. And a lot of people are, arms extended, pointing in the direction of Crawford for basically provoking this type of aggression by saying, I see somebody feel some type of way about not being invited to the gala. I was trying to explain to people that wasn't the initial start of their beef. You just happened to catch the ride. You was out there hitchhiking. You just happened to catch the ride at this point in time in 2025. This all began, people, when Tank was on the Rise podcast. Just when he was on the Rise podcast. And he insinuated that he may potentially move up the division and that he would knock Crawford out. And that's when Crawford responds, if you think you can touch my chin, come touch it. You know what I'm saying? That's where all this started. You have to understand, Crawford is one of the most hated fighters of this era. This is just an attachment to what's been already just stewing out there for quite some time. This has just been sitting, man. It didn't go away. It's just been sitting out there, festering. The Boxing Pro says Canelo gonna knock you out. I like reading what people have to say, because they say it with such anger when they're typing. Low key, Gervonta Davis will knock Crawford out of 140. I love reading other people's comments on, someone like Terrence Crawford's thread. Terrence Crawford is the same line dude who told Errol Spence, I know a nigga down the street who gonna give us 25 million guaranteed a piece to fight on BLK Prime. You can't take him serious. This is 21 hours ago. And then what I would say about that is nothing. I mean, some people are thriving off putting out controversial content. It's all good. To each his own. Stay in your lane. Shift gears as you see fit. But we all know the whole process of what Crawford intentions was to try to get him an arrow. And this is not even why I read that. I just put the comment out there because, a lot of people that was disappointed in how July 29th, they still on here in 2025, bro. We're talking about 2023 that happened. And they're still on here talking about something. I mean, I'll take it back even farther. That happened in 22. But they're still mad at the result of 23. That's crazy. He says, Gervonta, look, I got bigger fish to fry. Grow some balls and fight Shakur Stevenson or Keyshawn Davis and stop being scared. That's probably why you ran your girl over and beat her ass, because you don't got no nuts. And she know it. I'm back, man. My fault. Um, this is where people start to tune in. Saying that Crawford was pretty much going a bit deeper than he should be. And that's funny how they would entertain the squabble, right? They would entertain if it's benefiting one of their favorite fighters. They would absolutely stand there and be instigators. They would egg it on, egg it on, egg it on, bro. That's how it is. But yet, if the person that he's into it with, they're going back and forth. And really it's between these two. But since it's public and it's on social media, we get to see it in rotation. So when he put this out there, it's amazing, yo. Like how the sheep mentality still goes into effect. It's too easy. I'm seriously. It's too freaking easy. Too easy. I'm talking about when you think about him saying something that made the news, right? Him talking about something, yes, it's criminal, but Crawford is mentioning it, addressing the person that was involved in it. He's addressing that person. He's not as if they're not there. He's addressing it to the general public because it's public information. What he's talking about on X is public information, a public forum, right? And it was amazing. Just have the sheep mentality congregate, and they'll say, "Oh man, Crawford went too far, went too far." But Tank was talking about family, right? Right? Wasn't Tank talking about family? Let's see what Tank. He said 19. He's still a. So he's talking about Timothy Bradley. Tank loves to tweet and delete too. January 13. Let me see. A matter of fact, hold up for a second, y'all. I'm about to bring it up. Hold on for a second. I thought I already downloaded, but I didn't. Thanks. Thanks for your patience. Okay, let me bring this up right quick. So this is the tweet that I thought. Hold on, that I thought I had loaded already. Let me go to this one first. Terrence Crawford say, if your favorite fighter was number one on that list, it wouldn't be trash, huh? I'm bringing up some old tweets just to remind people how much he's hated on as a fighter, right? I mean, it doesn't get any easier, but he continues to be hated on by fans and fighters. It says, dang, I've been on the pound for pound list so long, Mayweather was still fighting. But still, they found a reason to hate. It's that simple. Then Tank responded, on my mama. You don't, bitch ass boy. And that's when Crawford was talking about, first thing a dumb rich person say to another rich person is, I got more money. Just like I read earlier, than you. I bet you I own more investments than you. I don't owe $1 in taxes. This has gone personal, this, that, and the other. But for me, I looked at it like, when it got to Tank doing the tweet and deletes, I thought I had screenshot. Let me see. I thought I had screenshot the tweet where he was talking about his girl. Now, for me, when it comes to family, I really don't get messy like that, But I'm looking at it like, why go for the parents? You know what I'm saying? Why the defense of Javante speaking on, how his girl looked, when obviously we know the history, between both of these guys when it comes to women. One man has a family structured household. You know how it goes. You know where I'm going. His kids are very athletic. I can't stroll through the Rolodex one time and pull up an article that Terrence Crawford had a mugshot based on the best domestic violence. Now, recently, I know people, gonna say, well, he was pulling a family member by the hair. He was pulling a family member by the hair. To my mop the floor. I thought that was disrespectful. We don't know if it was a girl or a dude. They gonna exaggerate that shit. He playing with family members, pulling them, mopping the floor with them, whatever. It's not the same. As in Tank, we pretty much seen his interactions with whoever he was involved with, his baby's moms or whatever, out in general public. You can't be mad at people when you do things out in public. And then people talk about the public information when it happened. That includes you and the particular person. You can't get mad at them because it's out there publicly. Now, days may have ticked. Weeks may have passed, right? And certain people may have forgot about it. But it's still out there. The videos are still out there. You can't remove all of them. People have it when, the female got snatched up. And it was punches being thrown. You're a male fighter, and she's just the average Joe. But it's a big spectacle being made. From Tank snatching her up, and they go into the back. That'll never leave the minds of people. But to show the power of what we're dealing with today, you actually have people saying that Crawford was wrong to say what he said. Crawford was wrong to say what he said, bro. And I'm saying, how can he be wrong to say anything? They say he was wrong for bringing up something that happened with Tank and his girl. I mean, the way people tag along in this day and time with society, man, is just incredible. They'll just go opposite. They want to go for the villain, bro. It's like, check this out. It's like, when you're raising children. those of you that raise kids or whatever, and those of you that's in the process of raising kids, you remember back then when you used to hear, even on TV shows, how they used to try to speak confidence in these kids and tell them, hey, this is what you should be when you grow up. This is what you need to strive for. This is what you need to do. Leave high school, go to college. You know what I'm saying? They was basically enhancing their confidence with words of wisdom. That's what they used. They was finding words of wisdom to motivate the youngins, right? But now it just seems like the GP glorifies supporting the villain. The villain provides. Hold on for a second. Yeah, it seems like they was pretty much giving words of wisdom to the youngins. But now it seems like the glorification goes in the direction of the villain. You know what I'm saying? It seems like glorification goes in the direction of the villain. The villain can be anybody that's doing something that's not looked upon favorably. That can be anything. Like, I find dudes on here would be more inclined to hang out or give interviews or whatever the case may be to support a content creator who has done time, who has been locked up, who has has this story that they've been incarcerated, because they can relate. They may have friends that's incarcerated. Okay. That's the weirdest thing ever, because I remember when I was coming on and I was just sitting up here chilling. I wasn't really dropping no obscenities. I wasn't really as engaged as I was now on the YouTube scene, right? I was just chilling. I was just talking my shit, being professional. And I remember when people used to try to dress me up and say that, you're a military square, you this, that, and the other. They was frowning upon being in the military. You used to taking orders, you act like a robot. And I was like, damn, that's really not who I am. I'm saying to myself, I'm just up here, being professional. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to be professional. But the energy that they was pretty much bringing into Crawford's direction was to say that he was wrong for saying that about Tank. You know what I'm saying? He was wrong for saying that. They was making it seem like just because his name was Crawford, he already came with 5 strikes already. I saw this a lot with Deontay Wilder's situation. You know what I'm saying? When he was in any situation with somebody who may have done something else, they didn't look at it that way. They say, we don't care about that. That's Wilder. We don't care if he never popped dirty. We're talking about his skill set. We're talking about him twerking. That's pretty much what their concern was. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Blunts for looking out. Once again, appreciate you dropping this by, because I forgot it in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the ones that be out there in them X trenches. You know what I'm saying? But Javante has said, and he got like 8 kids and his wife like 380 pounds. Yeah, buddy, got to work overtime. Now, anybody in their right mind, I'm talking about sensible adults, will clearly break this down and be able to decipher that this is absolutely disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Once again, shout out to Blunts, man. Thanks for dropping the gem by. This is absolutely disrespectful. Look, it's crazy because family is no longer off limits, to some people. They'll just grab family or what they think they see, and they'll put it out there. It's people that get taken out for less than you talking about their family. It may be something, some other attachment, some disagreement that y'all had or whatever, either back in the day or currently, that gets somebody dealt with. But the backlash that Crawford was getting, all because he responded to Tank. When Tank put it out there that you got 8 kids and a wife like 380 pounds, I was like, wow. I'm like, they don't feel no type of way. Like, you know how my people get. My people will get mad at each other and talking about they'll air it out and they'll pull up and they'll do that. But let it be a white person, they have to think, hey man, have you heard anything about Tommy over there? Why? Oh man, he said some things about me. I was just trying to think whether I really want to go at him hard or not, man. See if he had any guys that was law enforcement or any judges, attorneys. You know what I'm saying? What is his wife occupation? Is she an attorney? Is she a prosecutor? A DA? What? I just want to know. Is she in any type of legal? You know what I'm saying? They'll try the whole process, a list of measures, options that say, I want to make sure I go through and comb through my preventative measures first to see if I need to de-escalate because they're non-black. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put nothing on me. But when it comes to a black, though, man, they all in for the disrespect. Your kids, auntie, uncle, you know what I'm saying? Grandma, great grandma, everybody. They be up here talking about, yeah, I'll slap your grandma. I'll slap your grandma. I'll slap your kids in front of me. I mean, in front of you. It's just total disrespect. Y'all don't find that disrespectful? I mean, if that was what was led from Tank to talk about his girl, you know what I'm saying, and how many kids he got, then it's gloves off. These grown ass adults shouldn't even have to stand there and process it like, oh man, I'm kind of contemplating. What is worse? What is worse, man? What is worse? Shit, what is fucking worse? I'm just trying to figure out what is it worse that Tank said what he said about 8 kids? He didn't mention the kids' names though. And then is his wife really 380 pounds? If Bud, his girl ain't 380 pounds, why he feeling sometimes? You know what I'm saying? They start trying to minimize the motherfucking dog. They try to minimize this shit. They don't have not one spiritual connection in this whole freaking verbal sparring that they're up here instigating. No spiritual connection, bro. Look, I'm gonna put something out there for y'all cats that's still young enough, like late 20s, 30s. Listen, y'all tech era individuals, it's gonna get real bad here in 10 to 15 more years. It's gonna get real bad in just in life in general. And it's not so much that you have to look at it like WCS, is just putting information out there and nothing to substantiate it. I'm telling you, as far as how the world and us, this internal to this entire process, you know what I'm saying? Because we are just moving little entities. We don't control it. You know what I'm saying? We have to react to what is being controlled. And we're not usually the ones that benefit from the controlling authorities that are making the changes. We're not it. So with the prices, with the reduction of the jobs, employments, and all that, it's going to get way, way bad. So the reason why I brought that up is because a lot of people spend too much time on social media. So when you see exchanges like this between two of your favorite fighters, right? You got to say to yourself, those individuals that's in the comments, what are you thinking? I mean, I want to deploy Operation Human Conduct. Like it's amazing. Like you have adults acting like they was pre-programmed. Like certain things they should automatically say fucked up, like people's family, your girl. But then you get somebody to say, well, if you're not married to her, that's just your girl. It's not like she's your wife. Same thing. If y'all a family, y'all a family. But for Crawford to come back and to put it out there based off what he said to Tank, and talk about the domestic shit. I mean, how is he wrong? You know what I'm saying? How's Crawford wrong? How have one human being out there that's saying that Crawford isn't making sense? You know what I'm saying? Even he took it light right here. He was trying to make sense right here, just like he was when he was at the press conference. And he was saying, us black people, we always come out here and this, that, and we weren't trying to hear it. But I think when he's talking about the first thing a dumb rich person say, he's talking some sense. To me, he's talking some sense. He's talking some sense. Real talk. Let me go back over here to this tweet that really, this is what most are talking about right here at the top. The screen grab that shit. This is what majority of the people are speaking on, as if Crawford's going to be on some type of probationary period. You know what I'm saying? Like Crawford is going to be reprimanded for coming back with a damn cinder block and cracking that over Tank's head. He said, I got bigger fish to fry. Grow some balls and fight Shakur Stevenson or Keyshawn Davis and stop being scared. That's probably why you ran your girl over and beat her ass, because you don't got no nuts and she know it. God damn. I just wonder what Tank has to say about this, because Tank is one of my favorite fighters. Not as much as I like Crawford though, but still, me being a grown ass man, I'm not the one to sit up here and act like I'm gonna walk far on the edge, and I can't voice my opinion on both sides. And do I have a selective process where I'm gonna choose who was wrong in this situation? I'm gonna be honest. Like, Tank initially on the Rod's podcast said he had knocked Crawford out. So this where the beef has cultivated from. He said he'll knock Crawford out. And Crawford said, come on up and test his chin if you think I don't have a chin. Come on up and test it. So they've been on that type of time for forever and a day. It's just Tank ain't the only one that's hating on Crawford. He ain't the only one clout chasing Crawford. You know what I'm saying? It's plenty of other fighters that was calling Crawford name. Plenty. But also you have to look at, Tank has put it out there that those guys, I don't know the exact timeline. Was it before or after the August 3rd fight 2024? But I remember Tank saying that I don't have to go over there. I'm getting that type of money over here. Now, it sounded good, and even at one point in time, I did clap it up for Tank standing his ground and saying, you know what, I'm doing something they're not able to do because I'm getting that money over here. But word has it that Turkey Al-Sheikh has gotten them cats paying attention, because, like I said before, them dudes ain't complaining when they coming back from Riyadh season. Like I haven't heard a peep. When I tell you a peep, they have access to go live. They have access for freedom of speech. There's been several cards that was hosted over there in Riyadh season by the one and only Turkey Al-Sheikh. And no one really knows what's his position in boxing. This is sort of like they portrayed Al Heyman over here in the U.S. But see, Al Heyman was out of sight, out of mind, in the shadows, deep dark in the back. They was portraying him, and he was making moves. He was doing his thing. He was the one that was before Alex Sheik over here in the States. Now Alex Sheik is pretty much portraying somewhat the same character or folklore, so to speak, as Al Heyman did, but yet he's out in the open. They used to say Al Heyman was the reason, they implement they enforce the Ali Act because you can't be a manager, advisor, promoter, and all that shit. But no one can really tell you what Alex Sheik has going on. What is he? Who is the promoter? When it comes to PBC isn't a promotion. TGB is. Right? Then when you get to the mo, they say, oh, Tom Brown. I mean, who's over there running the show? You don't ask those questions on Riyadh season. Those questions are not being asked. But at one point in time, Tank has said that he was making that type of money over here in the U.S. So if you really start to break it down, it sounds very good. And he was being truthful, in my opinion. He was being truthful to say, he was doing well. Like when I was up there in any type of debates with Tank, I used to tell people how they view you as a boxer is not just based off your hardware. Because people tend to trend and repeating the same thing all the time when it comes to the Reggie belts. Now I'm about to split someone. I'm about to dichotomize a point, and it's a very, very sharp tip point. When Tank had 2 Reggie belts at 35 and 40, right, fighting Yorkis Gamboa, his first fight up here at 135 lightweight, and then moving up to fight Mario Barrios. Tank, he received criticism and shit. But David Morrell, they treated him like those belts was the supers. When he was a 2-time Reggie holder, and they was boosting him up like, hey, man, David Benavidez, you should fight him. You should fight him. You should fight David Morrell. He's a 2-time WBA Reggie champion and all that. They was freaking praising the shit out of David Morrell for those 2 Reggie belts. But Tank, they criticized the heck out of it. Anyway, not to get off topic. Tank did what he had to do with the hardware he received, but also you're celebrated by being at the top of the list for the money that you make via your purse. Purses are very important. A lot of people don't know how to grade purse. They'll talk about purses, but when it comes to how great a fighter is, they tend to leave out the very same hashtag that they want to use, hyping up their fighter as being the one that's putting butts in the seats and selling tickets and all that at the door. The cash cow. Boxing is a business. So you're glorifying a fighter like Tank. You have to respect it. You glorify a fighter like Tank, but you down a fighter like Crawford. Tank was more so on the pay-per-view status and making that money however he was making it with Mayweather Promotions and now, Al Heyman, whatever. He was making the money, right? But yet they criticized the shit out of Crawford because he wasn't too much orientated in the media. And they say he wasn't making, he just had a high guarantee, which his high guarantee was much more advanced than most fighters. So they look at pay-per-view on a higher scale than they would with Crawford just making a high guarantee. But one thing when you talk about great fighters, it's not just the hardware, it's how they pretty much moved or maneuvered through the sport and how lucrative were they when it pertained to their purses. Were they bringing butts to the seats, as they call it? Were they packing out? Yes. Tank was packing out and Crawford was packing it out. But Tank had more of a pay-per-view, status with whoever. He was on pay-per-view doing his thing, making that money. Crawford, he was making his money on the other side, and really it was people that was more inclined to jettison Crawford in the way he, because they looked at it like, well, he's not a favorite. He don't talk to the media. But yet they ignored the fact on how his paperwork was worded. What did the language say in your contractual paperwork? That's where Crawford excelled. That's where Crawford was much more smarter than people gave him credit for. But anyway, when it comes down to both fighters and they having a spat on social media and it's getting personal, I'm gonna be absolutely authentic about it. I really look at it like this too shall pass, goddammit. Because we just seen Teofimo Lopez say which one get the banana first. Who was he talking about? So you take two black fighters who was the target of racial insults from Teofimo Lopez. People are all, up in arms about that shit. They feeling some type of way. They're blasting Teofimo for being racist and all that. And then turn around, those very same black individuals, those two black boxers, are now going at each other. So they don't know. It's pretty easy for them to take sides in this. It's a little bit complex, but it's a little bit easier for them to take sides because a lot of these cats have this dislike for Crawford. Now, Tank is out of sight, out of mind a lot of times. He's kind of turned the corner, and he was quiet at the back end of 2024. He really wasn't saying shit to get your attention. And then I say, like at the end of November, December, he started to really, you know what I'm saying? He started to turn up the damn heat just a little bit. You start to hear this, that, and the other. We found out who he was fighting. People start talking about this, that, you know what I'm saying? But these fighters getting personal with one another, verbal sparring online. I say, if someone's going to talk about the fam, I still believe Crawford took it a little light. I ain't gonna lie to you, because we know Tank's kids are young, right? And as old as I am, I shouldn't have to explain the obvious to you. I'm gonna be totally honest, believe that Crawford went extra nice on Tank. Extra nice. Because what he did was kept it on adult shit that happened in the media. He kept that adult shit, public record, adult stuff on what Tank's action was towards his baby mother, right? But what Tank did was talk about his family. Is that adult shit? Is his kids adults? You know what I'm saying? Is the kids adults? No, they ain't. But what happened in public, was that between two adults? Yes, it was. That was between two adults. You ran your girl over and you beat her ass. That's two adults right there. So I still believe Crawford took it fairly light on Tank. That just goes to show you his maturity. I don't know whatever way to say this. I don't get influenced by people who are all about likes, because this social media enjoy it while you can, because it's not going to be around forever. And unfortunately, when the homeless population increases, it's going to be solely due to social media finally shutting down or putting more restrictions on here, which is going to limit how much you can make or your freedom to go about doing what you're doing at this point in time. It's going to get to that point. And a lot of people have absolutely, in its totality, dedicated themselves to using this as a platform for their career. So pretty much, just like boxing doesn't have a retirement plan, social media doesn't have a retirement plan. So if we choose to grab a calculator, right, and do some numbers, now you want to get into, okay, let me just save for my retirement. Retirement is supposed to be forever, right? So much to the point where when you leave one job that was your main job, you're taking the benefits that you have primarily off, and that should suffice you medically, right? That should suffice you medically. That should be able to take care of your current bills and all that. But a lot of people have chose to dedicate themselves to social media, which is not going to be around forever. And these individuals may potentially be homeless in the future because it's going to be very difficult to be in your 60s and 70s trying to start a career. It's going to be rough. And if you think, I know I'm a little bit off topic from Crawford and Javante, but I'm just saying, in correlation to what people are talking about, these individuals that you are spending this time to talk about, hoping you get the clicks and the likes, those two individuals have more money than we have. Their income, their surplus of income far exceeds what we're making on the annual status, right? Our annual stubs, my annual stubs would never add up to what Crawford has going on, especially, all the investment properties, mansions and all that, and even Tank. They're making their money. But for us, who's giving attention to these verbal sparring sessions that they have going on social media, it's fun and games right now. It is. It's cool. It's cool. Give or take, another, I'm saying 5 to 10 years, some changes are going to happen. For real. Some changes are going to happen. If you think these people are just not collecting data on how many people frequent these social media platforms and what a catastrophe it would be if they actually shut down any of these platforms. Let's just say, for instance, perfect example, TikTok. If TikTok is out the door, they're planning on absolving it from access over here in the US. Then all the people who was actually gathering income from that, they're going to suffer in some way, shape, or form. Then you have, other platforms like YouTube, Facebook, IG, X, where individuals find it like purposely to be able to get their shit monetized. I get it. But remember, these individuals that's in charge of these platforms, they look at the likes and shit. They allow you the opportunity to access. They allow you to participate. But it's going to come a time and a place for whatever that reason is, it's going to get shut down. So all the likes and everything, I'm not saying it's going to be shut down permanently, but it's going to be shut down to a point where it's going to be a lot of people that's in dire straits. In dire straits, people. Getting back to Tank and Crawford. I look at the Shakur, Tank being in it with Shakur, Tank being in it with Devin. I mean, Tank been in it with Ryan Garcia. I mean, Crawford's been in it with, I don't know, who knows? You can't count. This ain't going anywhere. I still look at from adult perspective, right? That Crawford took it light on Tank in his response on talking about something that actually happened in the public. He didn't talk about his daughters, man. If Crawford would have spoken on Tank's daughters, it would have been a much more degrading look on Crawford's part, because they're children, right? They're girls. But then Tank, he just said 8 kids. He really didn't say anything that was derogatory. He just said, hey, you got 8 kids. But the derogatory and sensitivity came when he mentioned his girl and how much she weighed. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. It's crazy at the end of the day. Real talk. It's crazy. And that's what these cats get into, bro. Look, I always say to myself, you can give compliments and reach out to these fighters on X, congratulate them, and keep in good standing with positivity. And some of these fighters will never respond to you. But the ones who sit up here and dog them out on a daily basis, y'all, these fighters will respond to them. And that to me is a sense of immaturity, a lack of literacy, because you're unwilling to acknowledge those who truly support you genuinely, but you will respond to the ones who don't give a F about you. That stuff is crazy. They don't, that is so compelling, huh? They don't care about you. You will respond to the ones that are there for chaos and confusion, but you will not the benefit of someone who you know rock with you heavy, just to give them a response, a reply to one of their tweets. It's crazy, yo. Don't make any sense. Let me get to the chat right quick, man. Shout out to everybody that's on deck. I'm just gonna try to read. Shout out to Jessica. The queen is in the building. Salute you. Salute to you, Jessica. Thanks for always supporting the channel. You know what I'm saying? You one of the few women who frequent the boxing chats and we'll talk that boxing. Salute to you. MKB in the building. What's good, man? Trick Noti in the building. What's good? The Oracle is on deck. What it do, Trick? You know what I'm saying? Great work with getting Brandon Figueroa on the panel over there. A lot of people don't know Trick be talking behind the scenes. Stormy and Drew had freaking Brandon Figueroa over there due to the work and dedication of Trick Noti behind the scenes. Brandon Figueroa was on deck. Check that interview out, man. Check that interview out. You know, he has this fight coming up with Stephen Fulton. The first fight, Stephen Fulton won. Now they about to head in there for a rematch. I like it. I like the fight. Bud Gonna Stop Canelo's on deck. Tank started all this hating on people who got invited, disrespecting them, calling them D-Riders. So, to respond to that, I agree. But also, like I was trying to explain some people on Facebook, because it seems like Facebook, they have a different group of people. I don't know how many minutes or seconds they spend actually paying attention, but they're a different group of characters than YTC, in my opinion. But I was trying to explain to them, right? Like, please explain to me how many fighters from PBC was over there. I mean, somebody help me with the numbers. That's all I'm trying to say. Help me with the numbers, because the numbers is not where they supposed to be. Like, why wasn't fighters from the PBC over there? First of all, where were they? If Tank is feeling some type of way about him not being invited, then what was the reason behind any other fighter from the PBC being absent? I can see if there was other fighters from the PBC there, and Tank can say, yeah, Turkey invited this fighter from around the PBC. But did you see any? The numbers ain't adding up from over there. Did y'all see any other freaking fighters over there? If you did, can you drop your comments in the chat? I didn't see it. I could see if Tank had that to go off of. Like, there was other names that we seen on deck, dressed to impress, invited to the gala from PBC. Were they not given permission to go to such a historic event? Seeing the Ring magazine leave the launch pad and come back into the existence of boxing the right way? Shout out to Cooking with Surf Senior in the building. Shout out to Collins in the building. Peludas in the building. tell Davis he's burning bridges and blocking endorsements. The new AB. Um. Okay. This is what I'm gonna go off. What the two-sided. Okay, the fork in the road. Right. In my response, on the left side, if he's burning bridges and blocking endorsements, nah, no, I don't think so. Not just talk out here on social media. You know what I'm saying? Not just talk out here on social media. How will he be blocking? How will he block endorsements? He look. He's did way worse. Pay attention to the chat. He's did way worse. So I don't think he's burning bridges for endorsements. If you want to talk about someone who became an arsonist, that was Ryan Garcia. Them endorsements. They had people going around there with flamethrowers burning up his endorsements once that stuff came out. You know what I'm saying? That was easy. But the little stuff that he's going back and forth with Crawford, no, 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 no. Now, what I absolutely disagree with is that you're saying he's the new AB. What I don't see from Tank is something that's basically limiting or eliminating him, so to speak, from performing at optimal level when he graces the square. AB, when he goes out in public, sometimes you see him intoxicated. That, my friends, will break you down from the inside out. When you have to go in the fight camp, those organs that you're destroying with liquor and alcohol and whatever he's doing, that's a real deal. But for Tank be looking in tremendous shape. You know how he used to get a bit chubby and round in between fights? We haven't seen that in a long time. Like he was basically denigrated for missing weight at 130, moved up to 135, and then came back to revisit 130. The show. So I think that was a turning point for him. AB, he's just not able to make the weight like that. He doesn't. Man, ain't no way. Nah, it ain't no way, bro. I can't put it out there like that. I can't put him out there like that. He ain't no new AB. You can't compare two black fighters the same because they have a history together. That's being unfair, right? Yo, Chin Checker better leave Bud alone. Bud is not the one to play with. Hey man, we link up, bro. Hey, we link up on that, dog. Hey, we link up on that, man. Real talk. Leave Bud alone, because Bud, shoot in for a double. Boxing ain't gonna be able to say nothing. Both of them know how to box too. It's gonna come down to your extra collateral skill sets. Collectively, what else do you have to offer outside of a fighting stance? It'll be crucial for him, man. It'll be crucial. Tank fans mad Bud shed light on the DV stuff, but they're okay with Tank speaking on another man's family. What part of the game is that? Well, we know what part of the game is. It's conformity, the herd mentality. They just want to be followers, bro. That's where we at. That's where the part of the game is at right now for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? They sit on here and they just want to be a part of something. You got to think of it like this too, Collins. Like a huge group of these individuals that's on social media, and they be punching the clock, man. I mean, to my punching the clock, and they receive no pay at the end of the day. I'm talking about the ones who are in the chat. They're just there listening and listening and listening. And they're supporting that particular individual. Not only that, they're becoming sponges. It becomes a problem when they get so delusional that they cannot decipher which is healthy information and which is contaminant information. They will sit there and get polluted and believe they're educating themselves, go to somebody else's platform and talk the same talk, and you know exactly who chat they've been in. You cannot make this up, bro. You know exactly who chat they've been in. Well, to be honest, man, that ain't true, because the numbers are 55, 45, Who told you that? Oh man, they so and so has sources. He told us that. Okay, so you're over there camped out, intoxicated with stupidity, just sipping from that cup. Trick say people gave Tank all kinds of praise for beating up Gamboa, but little do they know he used to spar Gamboa and beat him up, just like Floyd did when beat up Corrales, like promoter, like protege. And good point, man. Good point. But I'm gonna be honest with you, Trick. He didn't beat up Gamboa to me. Shit, Gamboa was in the 12th round. Gamboa took some of Tank Davis's best punches. I mean, I couldn't get no closer to the fight. I was surprised Gamboa was hanging in that way. Yeah, he had knockdowns, but Gamboa was on a hurt foot. You know how they always highlighting Crawford fought Jose Benavidez on one leg. But I always want to put it out there. I say, do I need to provide documentation that he passed medicals? You're talking about him being shot in the leg way back in the day. We're not talking about yesterday or the day before that. But they always talk about how Jose Benavidez had one leg when he fought Crawford. But he had to pass medicals. And also, he went into the 12th round like Gamboa. Gamboa had a hurt ankle, a foot. He went into the 12th round. Jose Benavidez supposedly, they say he got shot right before the fight, and they gave him some Novocaine, and he went in there and fought Tank. Bleeding and everything. Tendons hanging out. You know what I'm saying? The shooter was still in the parking lot. He what round is it? Oh, you better let him know. We out here waiting on him. We waiting. What round? 11? Okay, cool. Hey, get ready, fellas. We're gonna finish the job. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they want to act like Benavidez is now leaking. But both of them fights went to the 12th round, and both fighters were supposedly not 1,000% physical capable of giving their opponents a contest, which they were. Shout out to Gamboa, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Gamboa. Solid point there, Trick, though. Solid point. Arnold Brown on deck. Belanger and TS Goons already checked Tank at a club. Tank just a Twitter thug. So what did they check him on, though? I mean, what did they check him on? I'm just curious. What they check him on? He said Bud got 8 kids and his wife 380 pounds, so he's working overtime or some shit like that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Thanks for dropping that tweet, because I know he be tweeting the elite, but I was multitasking. I forgot it was on the top of Javante's timeline. Tank versus Bud is far better than Bud versus Canelo, though. Man, stop it. See, just when I agree with you, you come up here and have me thinking I need to call the 12-step program and see if they got one more bed available. Come on, man. Don't nobody want to see that. Do you know how much whining and complaining goes on out here? Bro, all the life coaches are taken on the YTC. That's the licensed ones. All the unlicensed ones, they have since disappeared. They say, I want no part of this. We can't change these people. It's comments like that. No. Tank is 135, bro. Bud is 154. Why would he come down in between 40 and 45 and 54 to placate Tank? Why? It's no way Tank winning that fight. It's no way. I don't care how much punching power he got. Bud would beat the brakes off Tank if they fought at a catch weight between 45 and 54. Beat the brakes off of him. And I'm a Tank fan. And then you have to flip it over to all the criticism that precipitates with Bud fighting Canelo. We're only talking 2 divisions, but we're talking about the suitcase. We're talking about the briefcase. The cachet of accolades the Bud is carrying around mirrors that of Canelo Alvarez. No, neither one of them. We're talking about both balancing the scales with heavy accolades, especially Bud's. He gets nothing out of fighting Tank. Nothing. And for you to say that's a better fight, come on, bro. You better than that, man. What's going on? What's going on, man? What's going on? They got you in the Wednesday funk, man. You got off work early or something. It was still some snow out there or something. They say, hey man, take the day off you and straight to happy hour. What? They was margaritas was $2. What are we talking about, man? You went to $2 margaritas Taco Wednesday? Shit. Come on, Paludis, man. Don't say no shit like that. We saw what Bud said about Gary Russell Jr. He'll do the same to Tank. I agree. I mean, y'all be careful. That response is out there with him responding to Gary Russell Jr. They up there putting Tank's tweet up there as if he said he'll see. You have instigators, bro. You have individuals that's out here like they were during COVID-19, agitators that's out here just looting places, starting fires. They're putting Tank freaking tweet up there and act like Bud is responding to Tank when that's an old response he did to Gary Russell Jr. And they got real beef. Gary Russell Jr.'s beef is way deeper than Tank's. Believe that. Russell said when he was in, I think he was in Philly or NY, he said if he saw Bud, walking to the barbershop where he was at, he'll swing on him. Come on, bro. Come on. Y'all won't want to do that. Y'all won't want to do that, bro. Tank is so ignorant, he'll be in and out of jail when he retired. Just watch. I kind of disagree, bro. I kind of disagree. The reason why I disagree is not done already. I feel that, at 30 years old, it's a lot of dumb shit we do when we in our 20s. And then you also have to look at it like this. How many of us can measure up to how Tank was raised and what he had to experience? You know what I'm saying? Do your measurements link up to that? Because he has some shit. I mean, his measurements is incredible. The volume of adversity that he had to go through coming up. So to go through it early in life and then still be acting out. Sometimes motherfuckers turn the curve, man, when they get to their 30s and wise up a little bit. Tank seemed to be a person who doesn't want to do media. He shows up 2 hours late. It's not because he was arrested or out there doing, high speed chases in sports cars, running from cops with drugs in there. He's just being unprofessional right now. And I think when he says he want to be out of the limelight, I believe him. That's just me. I believe him. I believe Tank don't want nothing to do with the limelight. I think he wants to be isolated, spend time with his kids. Everybody has everybody matures differently. We know that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's timepiece is different, bro, at the end of the day when it comes to maturity. And also it depends on how they mature in their life. Who's around them while they're going through the process of maturing is a bigger question. A YouTuber today said Bud was devilish for bringing up the DV stuff. Oh my God, devilish? Devilish is not 8 kids and a wife 380 pounds. That's not devilish? What? I'm telling you, man. I mean, soft like Jergens lotion. For real. How can you say it was devilish? How? He mentioned something that is accessible to the general public. That's what he did. He mentioned something that's accessible to the general public, and we all watched it as it played out, did we not? We watched and paid attention to that. Free and open democracy, god damn it. We sat there and seen this play out. We didn't have to get a subscription and say, oh, well, for $2.99, you can access the hardcore information for adults only, graphic. Okay, let me pay this $2.99 just to see what Tank said. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Tank is out there on headline news on what he did. Not only that, there, Collins, we seen him do it. Yo, am I missing something, bro? Look, we seen him. He was in front of our optics, bro, with no foliage in the way, no distortion. We was looking at Tank in HD as he walked up and snatched and pushed back, and all mayhem broke out. We seen it with our own eyes. Now, were we wrong for watching it? Now, before it get to us, somebody need to go approach the broadcast. Approach them for showing it. How can he be devilish, man? Stop it. Stop it, bro. Shout out to the News by Shaw News Sauce Experience. Team Tucker official. Crawford got a rider. Isha official. Tank got industry baby mothers. That's why he had snatched her up in public like that. Don't save her sucker. Money don't make you cool. Got him. Yeah, I totally know. I like, once again, every time I've seen Crawford with his peoples, you know, I always say it's always going to be a point of bias that you have with certain connections that you make with people. If you've seen them in public more than one time and they cool people, then when incidents like this happen, you're more inclined to take sides. That's just the way it works. Like, what I mean by take sides, that's saying is, okay, you're talking about a person who's not even doing over the top shit. Like, I gotta bring it out there. She's not Travis Hunter's girl. Mentality wise, how long has she been with Bud? She's not out here on social media where Bud is out here. It's like, okay, I had to get on here and clean up some stuff that my girl said, my baby mama. You know, I'm trying to work on that, man. We getting better. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to talk to Elon Musk and, you know, shit, get this straightened out, kind of limit, you know, how and when she can get on here and shit, put restrictions on her. You know, I mean, he ain't never been on here doing some shit like that. He ain't trying to explain to the public what his girl is out here doing. No. His kids out there, his daughter out there losing the shoe and still acting like she's freaking Flash. Like she's going to be a part comic. He got athletes in his family. But I have been around Tank and his daughter, his first daughter. I mean, I seen him showing love to his daughter. I seen him there at the open workout with his daughter. I mean, seeing a man with his kid, yo, no matter how their background is, he's spending time with his kid. That's just the way I look at it from an older perspective. That's just me, bro. Because the military can fuck your family up. You may not have the most locked in, personal, intimate relationship with kids when you're in the military deploying all the time. That's why they call it military brass, because, you know, you be out the household a lot on deployment and they just grow up and it's almost like not having a father in the household. Seriously. Tank has all this energy every time he has a fight, but when nothing's going on, he quiet as a church mouse. Hey, D Young, isn't that the way it should be though? I mean, look, think about it on Tank's level. Process it, bro. Isn't that the way you would want it? Whenever he gets a fight and we talk about free promo, getting exposure, isn't that the way you would want? Let's say if it was your fighter, when you want him to be quiescent during the fight, but in between fights, and then very vocal once the fight date is signed, announced, and the press conference. Yes, that's what I would like. But to a certain extent, Tank is on a whole nother level. Regardless if he's quiet, people are going to be wondering, curious as to what he has going on, right? As in, you have Jaron Ennis, who is quiet in between fights. Like I said, Ennis is a good guy to me. But God damn it, in between fights, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. It's when I look at Ennis in between fights, I get the urge sometimes to put him on this milk carton. I'm not going to lie to you, yo. Sometimes when I'm up here fiddling and faddling, I said, God damn it, I haven't heard nothing from Ennis. I seen him in the parking lot with the snow plows. I haven't heard nothing else out of him. And we don't know who he's fighting next, when he's fighting next, where he's fighting next. But when you talk about quiet in between fights, yeah, I be wanting to throw him on this milk carton. But God damn it, no. I got to keep EJ there because I don't know where he at. I don't. Search and rescue is still out as we know it. Society believes the villain is the victim today. Absolutely, man. Shout out to Stickum Boys Fishing and Sports, man. It's bad, yo. It's absolutely bad. And you say to yourself, man, I ain't got time to be teaching no adults. But it just goes to show you how in trouble the younger generation is. They're in deep trouble. Because with everything that's going on with AI, it's difficult for the generation that was born into this tech era to once again process information that is legitimate and what is fake, what is considered false, fictitious, information. They find it as leisure humor to go out here and say, this is going to be my recreational, looking at all this fake news and all the goddamn AI shit that's going on with changing other faces and trying to see if they can get used to the software and create videos. And they get so immersed in this, man. They just be reducing the literacy, their common sense literacy, man. They just say, I'm just totally committed in fake news. I'm committed in the victims. Everybody wants to be a part of a protest. You tell somebody, hey, man, so-and-so, he used to steal cars when he was growing up. Until somebody caught him in a car. And, man, they blasted him through the door, man. Almost took his leg off, but they was able to save the leg. That's why he limps. Oh, well, let me give him a super chat. But you talk about the military. Hey, man, so-and-so did, this amount of years in the military, retired, this, that. He got this award, that award. Man, hey, man, he chose to work for the white man. Shit. Old boy who was out here boosting cars, man, he was out there doing anything necessary to make a living. By all means, go out here and steal. Just in the process of him providing for his family, he was shot. Shit don't make no sense, dog. Oh my God, yo. Shoot. I mean, though I really outside the online boxing, mad in motion, but hey, what do I know? Shout out to Blue Hustle, man. What's good with it, man? Salute to you. The last tweet Bud wrote is what it's all about. Tank don't like Turkey because he don't want to fight Shakur. Let me go to that one. You know what I'm saying? Put that up there. Let me go to the one that everybody was up in arms about a little bit. I mean, on the Tank side of the house. Where is it? Am I? Hold up. Crawford said, I'm glad I'm not the man I once used to be. Growth is a blessing because some people don't change when better days is right in front of them. That's true words spoken right there. That's true words spoken right there. You know what I'm saying? Growth is a blessing because some people don't change when better days is right in front of them. That's true words. I'm not going to lie to you. That makes a lot of sense to me. That makes a lot of sense to me. Seriously. The last is what it's all about. Toby Bartlett, Mr. International in the building. What's good with it, Toby? I see you. If this the hottest chat in the game, I got to be the hottest sub in the game. Hey, man, they know who you are, man. They just need to recognize game when they see it, bro. You know what I'm saying? People that work behind the scenes, you know, you got to remind people sometimes, just like Kendra said, you got to jump out and show. You got to jump out and show them, man. Tank fought once last year. He spent of that up. You talking about his money? No doubt, man. When he stepping in the square, he say salute to over that Jihad Tucker fight they about to drop. Shout out to Tucker, man. Looking forward to Jihad stepping back in the square. You know what I'm saying? I sent you that tweet that Vito Melnicki is now moved up to 160. So I know we had spoke way back when about them potentially trying to line up a fight between Vito and Xander Zayas. I guess that fight is out the window because you know Zayas is still at 154. So Vito, I guess, is going to a growth spurt or eating too much beef. He's at 160 right now. You know? Shout out to the apostles in the building. ITC Boxing to you is on deck. Salute to you. One love to my God WCS, the Archbishop of Boxing. 402 stand the F up. I told y'all this is B&B year, and I'm letting the YTBC know it today. Are you going live? That's good, man. That's good. Y'all definitely tune in. I'm pretty sure that's going to be interesting with everything that's been going on with the online back and forth with Crawford Tank. Yeah, for real. There's no need now. I mean, they already see it. I mean, they act like they ain't seen it on ESPN and all over. They already know. They already done seen it, man. They can turn their head and then peek back over there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they saw it. They saw it. Tank Hart would drop right out his ass if Bud pulled up on him face to face. Depending on where he at. Depending on where he at. You know what I'm saying? But Bud don't play that, man. You know what I'm saying? Bud will pull up on that ass for real. Just ask T.O. He pulled up on T.O. say, hey, where you at? I'm in your neck of the woods. Where you at? You say, you know, no gloves on. We, you know, this, that, and the other. Where are you at? I'm here. I mean, who is his pilot? Is Bud taking rotary wings over there? Hey, is Bud taking birds over there? Rotary helicopters, man. Oh, he taking PJs. He be showing up quick. Shout out to Jamal Neasy on deck. What they do, Neasy? Salute, man. WJ Luckett on that. I'm a big fan of Tank, but Bud steps on him at any way. Absolutely. Bud steps on him, but just if anybody's Tank Davis is the same people that was hyping up Teofimo Lopez. I'm no way, shape, or form hating on Canelo Alvarez, but he kind of shamed himself when he actually wanted to co-sign and say some shit like, Bud, you need to fight Teofimo Lopez. No, we can't let that. We can't let that just go out there and be disseminated to those individuals that don't know right from wrong. That's out here looking goofy, thinking just because it came from Canelo is something that they should archive for a later day and say, hey man, Bud Duck tee up. Man, get the fuck out of here. No, shut up. I want to see anybody who dares to step in the ring with the Candyman of boxing. Hey man, it's getting interesting, bro. I'm pretty sure you're gonna talk about the Turk joint, the whole situation where Crawford pretty much put it out there that Tank felt some type of way that he wasn't in the building. You know what I'm saying? Tank felt that he needed to contest his absence. He was searching the mailbox and there was no invite, no RSVP, no phone calls was made. Now, I want to ask this again. I asked earlier, okay? Maybe one of y'all, two of y'all can provide me with the answers. Maybe somebody. But how many fighters did you all, when you was looking at the show, when you was tuned in as viewers, did you stumble upon that to be associated or signed with the PBC? Because earlier I made a point that I can see if Tank actually seen other fighters that was in the same canopy promotion, a PBC, and he wasn't invited. But I don't think we seen any. Did y'all see any? I didn't see Sebastian Fundora there. Look, even when his sister Gabrielle Fundora receiving an award, like I didn't see him there to give his sister Gabriella a hug. I didn't see it. That's one thing I zoomed in. I say, okay, this is gonna be interesting. Where's Fundora at? I didn't see Fundora. It's almost like they wasn't provided the pink slip. They didn't receive the hall pass. Al Heyman said no. And my friends, I believe that's gonna be his downfall at the end of the day, because Turki Al-Sheikh is not just dealing with boxing. If these American content creators stop being so obstinate and say to yourself, we can't stop Turki Al-Sheikh's motion. He's not just involved in boxing. He's involved in mixed martial arts. He's involved in music entertainment. He's involved in a lot of areas. He's not just in the boxing. So when I hear the chirping that goes around and people want to continue to talk about, hey man, Turki losing money, man. He losing money, man. Hey man, he losing money, man. He ain't gonna last long in boxing. If he ain't gonna last long in boxing, then he'd be over in MMA. Why are y'all talking about Turkish presence is not going to be long standing in the sport? What is wrong with y'all? Please grab a hold of a rainbow the next time you see it, and it too will give you the answers that you're looking for. You're not going to find no pot of gold at the end of that bitch, nor will you be seeing a bunch of leprechauns and welcome, come over here, we have your gold. No. What you're looking for Turki Al-Sheikh demise is not going to happen anytime soon. Like by the time that demise actually happened, I'm thinking we would have been able to enjoy a certain period of boxing enough to basically record some historic fight cards, some historic bouts. I think it'll be ample amount of time for us to record some historic fights and put them in the boxing annals and say, okay, Turk. Okay, Big Turk. You did what you're supposed to. Because 25 is looking live right now. I'm gonna be honest. 8 kids is Old Testament. Canelo's a PBC fighter at the moment, I'm guessing. How, Toby? How's Canelo a PBC fighter? How? I'm just saying. Explain to me. I'm not saying you're wrong, but how is he a PBC fighter? Did he have some fights remaining? Was he supposed to have another fight? Anybody know? I didn't hear that Canelo was a PBC fighter anymore. He didn't have any more. He didn't have any pending obligated fights. He was contractually bonded. Is Canelo still a PBC fighter? What makes a PBC fighter? I mean, we know Crawford was locked in for a second fight with Spence, but he's no longer a PBC fighter, obviously. But is Canelo supposedly locked in? If that's indeed the case, why is Canelo about to go over there and have a 3-fight deal with Turkey? I don't see business-wise how that add up. I don't see how it add up. The math is not adding up. Is Canelo a PBC fighter as we speak? Please. I definitely need you to put your minds together. I just want to hear, we need to have a meeting of the minds at the synapses gap. You know what I'm saying? Let's do a little parkour and jump over that motherfucker for some thoughts and answers. Is Canelo Alvarez still a PBC fighter? Does he have one more fight with them? Because word has it that Canelo may be locked in for a 3-fight deal with Turki Al-Sheikh. Let me see. Yeah, you're right about that, Toby. You're right about that. They said the zone was going to crash and burn. Absolutely. They say Eddie Hearn would never thrive. I remember when they was praising Eddie Hearn, the $1.3 billion deal, 1.6 billion. They act like Eddie Hearn got that up front. No, it was contingent and shit. And the zone has been on record, has put it out there that they have lost billions. You know what I'm saying? Canelo did have a recent interview. They say he's still working with Al Heyman and will continue to. Yeah, working with them is not confirming to me that he is still a PBC fighter. I get where you at. I understand working with someone because they're willing to give you buckets of money. I'm pretty sure Canelo want to work with him. But if he has 3 fights locked in with Turki Al-Sheikh, Al Heyman ain't seeing Canelo for a couple of years. Because it ain't no way you're going to be going back over here to PBC, an organizational entity that is not on cordial relations. The rapport isn't there between Turki Al-Sheikh and Al. I mean, we have resistance. I didn't see Sebastian Fundora there to congratulate his sister. I didn't see it, yo. I did not see it. And a lot of people say, well, maybe Gabriella is locked in with PBC. Well, one thing you know about PBC, y'all, is that I'm going to enlighten you on one facet of it. How many female fighters do PBC have? You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to put that out there, leave it. You know what I'm saying? Just like a cracked boiled egg. Just leave it out there room temperature for a minute. You need to hurry up and address it. Else it's going to go bad, goddammit. It's going to start smelling funky. But how many female fighters do PBC have? So, Gabriella, she was receiving an award. She was going to be there because her brother signed elsewhere. I didn't see him on deck, man. God damn, Sebastian. I know you wanted to be there for your sister too. Boy, I know he about to fuck Spence up now. And goddamn, Spence always have fighters that he may face that's in there to prove an extra point. Sebastian Fundora feels some type of way. You're like, God damn, my sister received her first ever Ring Magazine award, and I didn't have permission. I feel some type of way. Do you know I was knocked out cold for y'all. That Crawford versus Spence stole Tank's thunder. So the man is salty. Yeah, man, that's a lot of people still seasoned salty. I mean, I'm talking about really salty, super salty on that. No, Canelo is not a PBC fighter. He's a free agent waiting on to the next move. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's no way that he can really be locked in. Doing business with him, yeah, he can do business, but he's not going to be doing business with him if he signs with Turk for 3. That's over. Yeah. Oh, but see, Wilder Ruiz was different. See, one thing about them is Canelo, he can get fights, right? But Wilder and Ruiz, you have to look at them on where they at in their career, and the fact that Al gave permission for Wilder and Ruiz to go over there. If they was still signed, they still had to pay a percentage back to Al Heyman. He let them go. You remember when people were saying, "Oh, Al Heyman let certain people go to fight on Riyadh season." So if you're gonna allow certain fighters to fight over there just because you're still getting a percentage, what's wrong with them attending the ring? Damn, bro, that's history, man. What was wrong with them attending the ring, shawty? God damn, what was wrong with that shit, man? Damn. Appreciate the info, Blunts. Damn, that's crazy, man. I guess we'll find out if Canelo is a PBC fighter if his fight goes out on Amazon Prime. No, his next fight, for what I'm guessing, is going to be with Riyadh season. Like, once again, I may be off the mark just a little bit on the electric side. To the right, to the right, to the left, back. Now, I mean, it might be electric sliding going on with Canelo. You know how Canelo have that access, that total access. You know what I'm saying? He's the type of dude that don't get patted down. Protect boxers from Crawford agency. And we at a point right now where we can't accept that, Neezy. We can't accept it because at this point in time, as much as I do relish in the moment, it was a time and place where I had to endure all the damn backlash, insults, all the aspersions that was being placed on Crawford, man. I mean, how they was just baiting him in criticism every time that you turned on the YTC. And for him, Crawford, to go in here and have collected all that. I mean, he didn't even have it in the recycle bin. But you know how you have cookies on your computer on where you've been? Crawford went into the ring with cookies. You know what I'm saying? Showing where he had went previously. He had his full collection of history and data that he collected. He heard what everybody had to say about him. When the voice was acting, what do y'all plan on doing for a fighter like Crawford, who in people's eyes is a dangerous fighter, one of the more dangerous fighters at the welterweight division, being that he had stopped all his there you go again. He ain't fought no. I mean, it's the same thing, bro. I heard Spence said that he was gonna break him like Conta. Look, when I was there, heels, and I heard that shit, I caught something in my chest. My chest tightened up because it's almost like, damn, I just wish he wouldn't have brought the slave shit in. The reason why I said it because people just start giggling and laughing. Oh, you heard what he said, Billy? Oh my God. Yes, Thomas, he's hilarious. He's gonna break him like Kuta. They was just laughing and laughing. I say, damn, this has to be embarrassing. Crawford has to feel something. You know, he's human. But Spence said, I'm gonna break him like Kunta. All these people was just laughing over there. And believe me, it wasn't that many black people there. I'm just telling you, it was Beverly Hills at the end of the day. I'm being honest, bro. But Crawford took all that collective data, downloaded, saved on his hard drive into the ring, and destroyed this guy to the point where he hasn't returned inside the four corner square again. They busy up there thinking, I'm hearing these damn PBC advocates cock blocking. Look, Crawford thought it was gonna be easy. No, man, Al ain't playing that shit. He cock block. Little kids, bro. Oh, they teaching Bud a lesson. But this guy that you're looking at, he hasn't been back yet. He hasn't been back. Have y'all seen him? Did Crawford retire this dude? Please take time. Take time out of your day. It's Wednesday. All I'm asking is I'm not going to ask too much of your time. I need your help, though. We can do this. The hottest chat in the MFN game. Can you do this for me? Do me a favor. We need to locate where the hell Spence is. We need to find out is and when, if he's going to return, right? But we need to properly do this. The P's, proper preparation prevents piss poor planning, right? We need to use the P's on this. Work together, teamwork. I want you to take, seriously, this is the only thing I asked in my chat, right? I want you to take at least, let me see, ample amount of time to get this all. I want you to take at least about 3 minutes a day to try to find out where the hell Spence is at. That's all I need. 3 minutes, goddammit. 60 seconds per minute. That ain't that much to ask, goddammit. Take 3 minutes per day to find out where the hell Spence is at. Because as we was looking at this and they was laughing, they was like, look at him. He looked so drained. He looked this, he looked that. Bro, we need to help one another out. Figure this shit. All right. In the meanwhile, we're gonna stay on task, and we're gonna let the people know that regardless of what Crawford has said to Gervonta Davis, the task is Canelo Alvarez. The task is Canelo Alvarez. The task for 3-time undisputed is Canelo Alvarez. Both of these fighters has been on the pound for pound list since 2017. And they up here talking about 14 fucking pounds. 14 freaking pounds. Are you serious? You're talking about tweets. What you gonna do? This man don't qualify the fight Canelo because of what he been saying to Tank? Come on, bro. Come on, we ain't doing that, man. We ain't doing that. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing it. The question is, Canelo going to fight Skull in May and then fight Bud in December. I haven't heard December yet. And why does it have to be in December? Why? It's not enough time for Canelo. If he fights Skull in May, you have June, July, and August. Okay. And they were saying that at the end of September. So that exceeds the minimal, let's just say the minimal cushion of 8 weeks. That's ample time for 8 weeks to be in training camp for him to prepare for Crawford. Why December? Why go through the holiday? These guys should be able to fight Canelo and Crawford in September, right? They should be able to fight in September and be able, and Crawford should be able to go return home to Omaha, Nebraska and celebrate, his historic win. He should be able to go through the holidays celebrating that shit. Not be in fight camp. Hey, man, it's Cinco de Crawford at the end of the day, man. Single that Crawford's gonna carry all the way to September, bro. I heard Spencer's hiding with Tyson Fury, Billy Joe. Hey man, I wish nothing but the best for him. You know, real talk. I wish nothing but the best for him at the end of the day. It's gonna continue to get interesting because I know people feel some type of way when I put that milk carton up there. But I really hope Spence make it back to the square. I'm assuming he's not going to take too long before he decides to come back to the square. Why I say that? Because the older you get, I mean, you know, you see the little small videos. That's what I say about people, and Ennis is going to experience this too, about these fighters who select to just stay anchored in. All the sparring partners go to them, and you have to just depend on that coach forever and a day. And then at the wrong time, you and the coach split up, and you have to go out here searching for another trainer. It's difficult to start a type of new BDR, something you're not used to. You're used to the world-class furniture store opening the gate and everybody coming to you. The accommodation was there. You know what I'm saying? The accommodation, you did what you need to do. But now he's no longer there. You know, people up here in the kingdom saying, hey, man, who is Spence with? You know, you heard anything about Spence? Who is he with? Who is training him? Man, shout out to the hottest chat in the MFN game, man. I'll be on a little later. Y'all hold it down. Continue to support. Hit the button on your way out.